Free is our favorite word, like free refills. At Morgan & Morgan, our fee is free. You don't pay anything unless we win your case. Injured? Call Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
It's free!
The Big Blue Wall has developed sort of this reputation. What is it that makes this group stand out? What makes them different than the rest?
I believe the first thing that makes us different than the rest is the legacy of Coach Larman. Coach Larman, he's basically you can call him the founder of the Big Blue Wall. He was here. He was my coach when I signed on and when a lot of other guys signed on, but unfortunately he passed in 2020 due to cancer. So he was just the man that just embodied everything you wanted as Kentucky football. He embodied everything we wanted to represent, our core principles, attitude, toughness, discipline, and pride. He was all of that and more. So I think it just starts with Coach Larman, and I think it also goes down to that chemistry that we have in the room. We understand that we've had a great ability to establish a great culture with Coach Stoops and Coach Merrill. So, and part of that culture is the O-line always leads the room. We need to be the guys that's watching the most film. We need to be the guys that has the best grades. We need to be the guys that's just on top of everything, because we understand how much UK and the offense, how much they love the O-line and how much they support the O-line, from Coach Grant and Banks now just running and toting the ball. We know that in the SEC it's just a physical league, and it all starts in the trenches, all starts with the O-line. So I'm blessed to be just a part of a legendary group.
How blessed are you to be a part of Media Day here to represent the University of Kentucky and the team?
Man, honestly, it means everything to me. Being my freshman year, coming in fresh off of heart surgery, I never expected it to turn out like this. It really shows me just everything that Coach Stoops and Coach Merrill they've been saying to us. When we put in the hard work, when we take it one day at a time means something to me. I was walking on a walker at one point 2 months before coming here, so one day at a time means a lot to me. So just when you take everything one day at a time and you do what you're supposed to do, the sky's the limit. And I'm not the only proof of that. We've got guys behind me that's proof of that, and got plenty of guys in the league that can vouch for that as well.
You now have John Sharman means a lot to that offensive line room. Well, how do you keep that alive when now there's two groups of players, two classes that haven't played for you?
Yes, sir. I think the biggest part is just carrying on Coach Sharman's legacy. I've mentioned this before. When we talk about legacies, it's not all about money and glamour. It's the effect that you leave on other people in your passing when you're not in the room with them. And Coach Larman, he was always the type to lead by example first. So I believe I take it as my responsibility to make sure we carry on those values, because we understand how far those values have gotten us. So classes that have gotten the pleasure to know him, there's me, Eli, Q, Flax, a couple other guys in there, John Young, that actually got the chance to meet and be recruited by him, and just understand how great of a person he was. It's our job to make sure that we carry on that legacy in everything that we do.
Coach Jensen likes his group, but he is extremely high on that middle three. What makes you also good in that middle three? I know it's the core of the offense.
First of all, I believe it starts with coaching. We've had great coaches come through here and build a great foundation for the offensive line that we can just carry on throughout. I believe that Coach Stoops has helped us build a culture that we can be successful no matter the pieces involved. So I think it comes down to our chemistry. Me, Eli, Tayshawn. Even though Tayshawn just got here, we're really close. We're brothers. Like, that's my brother. He was also born in Orlando, so it's a small world just being able to connect with him. But it always just comes down to chemistry. But it's not just about the interior guys too. You need 5 guys to play good ball. So we have a good group of young guys coming up. We got Jeremy Flax, we got David Wallabaugh, we got DeAndre Buford, we got Jagger Burton, all guys ready and willing to step up and do what's needed to be done.
You guys were one of the top offensive lines last year, but
got beat out for the award. Obviously, do you feel like you guys are going to raise the bar even more this year? Try and get that.
Yes, sir. I feel like that's always our goal, to raise the bar. I feel like Kentucky has set a standard for excellent offensive line play, and we always want to strive for higher, strive for better, because obviously we're not where we need to be yet. You know, nobody's perfect. We're not relying on the name of the Big Blue Wall to carry us or to put fear in anybody's hearts. We understand that with this name comes a great responsibility, because people are going to give us their best shot. And that means we have to be ready for it. So that means we have to be working even harder.
You're fresh off a second place finish in the East, 10 wins, but if you watch the SEC Network this week, there's a lot of, well, South Carolina, Tennessee. Does that tick you off?
No, sir, not really. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions, but it's my job to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to make sure that our team is ready for this upcoming season. Everything on the outside noise and standings, all that's just opinion. Those guys aren't in the room working with us. They don't know what we're about, so it's our job to go out there and prove it.
Kenneth, you talk about taking things day by day, but as time still flew by as you sit here at this point in your career?
Yes, sir. I mean, I feel like you can ask our guys on the log. I talk about, I feel like an old man now, seeing all these young guys coming in. I remember, makes me reflect on my freshman year, my sophomore year, and makes me think about the lessons I've learned along the way and my responsibility, and that it's my job to pass on those lessons so that University of Kentucky is never at a point where we're starting over. We're starting from scratch. We can always build on the shoulders of people who are in front of us and just keep the legacy going.
Are there traits in Coach Yenser that remind you of Coach Schlarman? There's been a lot of talk of that.
Yes, sir. Just being that Coach Yenser was able to be Schlarman and learn from under Schlarman for a little bit, you can definitely see some like small tendencies. But just the first thing I can say is the passion for coaching. You know, Coach Schlarman, one thing about him, you could tell he loved every second of it. You know, it wasn't a job for him. It was a passion, and I believe the same thing is for Coach Yenser. You know, he's a great teacher. He's very professional, and I just think he has our best interests at heart. And Coach Schlarman was the same way. He wants us the best for us, not just as football players, but as men. And I think Coach Yenser has those same qualities.
Do you think this program now is at the point of reloading rather than rebuilding?
Yes, sir. I feel like Coach Stoops and Romero, they've put in a culture. They've established a culture that no matter what pieces fit in, that we can just keep the train rolling, you know? And I feel like we have young guys that are ready and willing to step up to the challenge, you know? It was the same thing went for me when I was 2 years ago, when I had my first start during the COVID year and stuff. I had just filled in right behind Stenberg, you know, after he got drafted. It's just about recruiting and developing and just being patient and waiting for your time. And I feel like we got guys that have bought in and seen the blueprint, and they're ready to take it one step forward.
Kenneth, you talked a little bit about those young tackles. There was a lot of talk this spring that you might need a transfer to come in there. The fact that the coaches didn't go at anybody, what kind of vote of confidence is it in those guys that we haven't seen play a lot?
I think it says a lot. I think it shows the trust that we have in our guys, and I think it's great for them to know that they have the coach's trust as well. And even more important than that, they have mine, they have Eli's, they have everybody in the O-line room. All of us were behind them, because I've been in that position. I know what it's like to just not have much playing time and step out on the field. So I take it as my responsibility to make sure that these guys know what's in store for them, because not everybody, you can't actually understand what to do and how you need to do until you go through it. But being able to have older guys in the room to help you along the way is definitely helpful, because I remember how helpful it was for me being able to play in between Landon and Drake.
Getting back here in December, how much does that weigh on your mind daily for the SEC championship?
Yes, sir. That's weighs on our mind every day. That's what we break the huddle on every workout, every meeting. You know, we break down ATL because we know what our goals are, and our goal is to get right back here, playing in Atlanta in December. And I take it as my responsibility to make sure that I'm ready, so that as a leader I can make sure these guys are ready. And then in that case, then we're all going to be ready to go. That's simple.